So let's talk about Man of Steel instead of...
I personally liked Man of Steel, but I think that it seems like to me that everybody that's actually a fan of Superman really hated Man of Steel.
Well, I'm not a fan of Superman.
Me either. That's why I liked it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. It actually made him like relatively interesting.
Yeah, and then made him the underdog.
Right. That's another thing is like people are always like, I don't never get as good as the old days. It's like the old days were lame.
Or the Luddite. The Millennials.
Are you keeping the name?
I'm keeping the name.
What do you think of the name?
What?
Luddite Millennials.
What does that mean?
Luddites are like averse to technology, or like hate technology. It's not us. It's just
Oh,
a stupid name.
it's an ironic name.
Kinda, yeah.
What do you guys think? Did this? You think this movie kind of surprised you on how you thought it was gonna go down?
No, I figured that it was going to be like pretty reflective of Dark Knight Returns, where Batman really just kind of kicks the shit out of Superman, and
Which is a great comic. You should definitely read that.
it's a good
Or
one.
watch the movies.
It's
Yeah.
I mean, this movie in general was just really just taken from Dark Knight Returns and then Death of Superman. And I figured Batman would win.
Spoilers.
Well, win, whatever that even really means.
What
But
does winning mean?
like in this movie, what does winning mean? Also, by the way, I'm gonna spoil this one too for you. Batman was going to kill Superman.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the only way to be able to beat him.
He was going to kill Superman, which is not what he does.
No.
You know what I mean? And
But wasn't it like that in the comics too?
No. So what happened was Superman was working for the government, and the government said, you need to stop Batman. And because Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne know each other, Clark Kent came and he said, you need to stop what you're doing because once they tell me to come for you, I'm going to come for you. And Bruce Wayne pretty much says, like, you know, kiss my ass. And then eventually the government says, like, you have to go and stop Batman. And he goes, and Batman beats him, but he was never going to kill him.
Then he would just come back, though.
But Batman had a mission in mind, and he just wanted to prove to Superman, like, a man beat you, and if I can beat you once, I can beat you again. So he was never going to try to kill Superman, and you can make that argument with any superhero, you know, Daredevil, Batman, Superman, where they're just like, I'll take him to justice, and I'll put him in jail, and the freaking sheriff will sit and watch him, and it's like, well, then they'll just get out and do it again. See what I'm saying? So you could look at it like Batman wouldn't treat Superman any different than he'd treat any other common criminal, where he's not going to kill them. He'll just beat them
Except in this movie.
mercilessly. Except in this movie, where he kills a lot of people.
Yeah, he just there was a scenes where I was like, okay, he's and I kind of when we were watching the movie, I leaned over to Tom and I was like, this is like if Punisher had a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't give a fuck about
He didn't give a shit at all.
life.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in the old ones, he'd be like, I need rubber bullets, and I'm going to disable their engines so they cannot drive. But in this one, he's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and he just blew up everybody's car, like, and then he drove through that thing and landed on that one car.
Yeah.
I was like, how, dude, the death toll from
Like,
Batman is, like, really high. It's like 35 people.
He didn't even need to kill some of the people, like the car that was crashed or whatever, and he like gets the harpoon or something in and starts dragging it. Like they were done, they were out of the fight, and yet he drags them along and like kills them when he didn't need to. They were done. They were out.
That's true.
And
he
there's-
did kind of go out of his way to kill people, even.
And there's a great line too. I thought that Batman had to Alfred, and Jeremy Irons was incredible in this. I actually really liked him as Alfred.
Yeah, he was amazing.
But
Wish he had more time.
where he's like, we're criminals. Like, we've been doing this for 20 years. We're criminals. And I think at this point in his career, like, at least the way they're portraying it, like, Batman's already, like, he's just, accepted that what they've been doing has been pretty much illegal the entire time. He's like, dude, we're freaking criminals. So,
But my point is, obviously the Marvel Cinematic Universe is huge, and they've had years and years to pace it out. When did the first Iron Man come out?
and
2008.
That's another great question. So, do you think DC still has a lot of catching up to do with Marvel? Yeah.
Well, DC kind of, to me, owns TV. You look at the Marvel, you have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Agent Carter.
Agent Carter. Those are the cable shows, and then Netflix has Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage is coming out.
Iron Fist.
I honestly think that the Punisher's probably going to get his own. We'll see. I think
they'll at least make him a Defender. So he'll be in the Defender show.
Yeah, because I think Punisher, like on his own, he's a better side character. Maybe.
I don't know.
I've read a lot of
Punisher. He was really good in Daredevil season 2.
I mean, going back to that movie, the first Punisher. I actually like the first Punisher minus
Dolph Lundgren's Punisher,
minus Rebecca Romaine Stamos's and Ben Foster's character.
You're talking about Tom Jane.
Yeah, Tom Jane. I wish they would have taken him out. Although the second Punisher I still like too, but some parts are still kind of cheesy.
If you want to talk about Punisher, I can do this all day. 2004 was the Thomas Jane Punisher, and that is taken. I'd say 85% of that is taken from a storyline called Welcome Back, Frank, where the piercing guy, Spacker Dave, Rebecca Romaine Stamos' character, I can't remember her name, and then the fat guy, Bumpo.
Yeah.
Those are all characters in Welcome Back, Frank. And in Welcome Back, Frank, he actually uses Bumpo to kill the Russian. The Russian's in it too, and he suffocates the Russian with Bumpo. So I liked all the Welcome Back, Frank references.
You're talking about it being an alternate universe. And it kind of makes sense when you have TV shows.
Yeah.
Say Flash, and you have a Flash character on TV, and you have a different Flash character in the movie who can travel through alternate dimensions and everything. And even on a Flash TV show, they go into there being many different alternate dimensions and different Flashes. So, and you get the different tone as well. So it could be like, this universe is more cheery, or maybe lots of things happen differently in the past that led up to that. Let's be fair, they're not that bad. They're not in that bad a shape. They just have one movie. If they would have jumped off with the Dark Knight series, they would be in much better shape. They would be actually ahead of Marvel at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, if they incorporated the Dark Knight series?
Yeah, if they would have started with that and then kind of maybe laid a couple ground.
But I think
we would have had a Joseph Gordon-Levitt Batman.
The problem is,
I'm okay with that.
To me,
probably the only person.
Kind of Christopher Nolan's universe of Batman wouldn't have translated to this, just because I could not possibly see Superman existing in Christopher Nolan's universe.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It would have to be like realistic, and Superman's just such an unrealistic character. You have to create this whole new kind of tone and setting, and
all the rest of them are unrealistic. What other character besides Batman? I mean, Green Arrow.
But he's pretty much just Batman.
He's Batman.
Except
he's rich
people,
and sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends on what he's in.
Batman does, but
now he does.
Right, but Superman especially, like, you couldn't have Christian Bale's Batman fight Superman.
No, he'd die instantly.
Yeah, well, yes.
If Superman wanted to kill him, which he kills people, so.
Where's the trigger?
You want to give it to an ordinary citizen.
So they'd have to change anyways. So I don't know.
So there's one part in the movie where it's obviously like kind of like a flashpoint, like time paradox.
Yeah.
Where he comes back like, well, at first I thought it was another freaking dream sequences. There's dream sequences all over the movie.
There's 3 of them.
There's 3 dream sequences where one really messes with you. It's the part in the desert that we've all seen in the trailers where you're thinking,
the part's really cool.
It doesn't mess with you in the movie.
Yeah. But it's
it's well done there. It just messes with you in the trailers.
Yeah, so
and it was well done.
But
very well done.
So obviously, I did like the time paradox where it was like there was a scene where Flash is like reaching out to Bruce Wayne from the future, and was he saying Martha is the key?
No, Lois Lane is the key.
Lois Lane is
the key, and he said you're absolutely right
about Superman.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, both your mothers' names are Martha, because apparently that's
cool. That was humanizing him.
When I read the Superman Doomsday fight when it first came out, that's when I started reading Doomsday. So I immediately thought, thinking Doomsday is in this, like, oh, is Superman gonna die? And when Wonder Woman cuts off his arm and then a spike grows out, I immediately thought, like, well, that's going somewhere.
Well, I'm guessing people thought that, just from the trailer.
Yeah.
It's like, why would they bring Doomsday in if they're not going to do that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's an entirely different spoiler that maybe a lot of people that don't follow the comic books wouldn't know, and it wouldn't have made them mad, but I could see that pissing off people that do know the story and being like, oh, okay, if they're bringing Doomsday in, it's going to have to be Superman dying in this movie.
It could have been built more of him being like, Zod's body is the key, and so he tries to get Zod's body, and then he gets on the ship, and like, I think that him creating Doomsday could have been a bigger thing, and then it could, the big fight could have just been Superman and Doomsday. and they wouldn't need to muddy it up with Superman and Batman fight, but then they're cool because they have this other thing going on, and it would just be Lex Luthor and building their relationship, their terrible relationship together, and then Doomsday could have been the ultimate. And then they could have alluded to Batman near the end. You know, maybe fucking Bruce Wayne's watching the news or something. So then like, oh, Batman's coming next. And then it makes you look forward to Batman. Whereas now we have nothing to really...
Ben Affleck. We have that to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like the best Batman we've seen.
Yeah.
I want to see more of that.
Oh, I definitely want to see more.
You're talking about Michael Shannon, you brought that up. How great would it have been if they brought him back, maybe fused in some powers or something, to not create Doomsday, but to bring back Michael Shannon? Maybe he's more powerful.
Or Bizarro.
Or Bizarro, make him like Bizarro's Zod, I guess.
Yeah.
And make him more powerful, so then you would have all three of them fighting still at the end, because they wanted to make it bigger than Man of Steel, obviously, but you can't just bring Zod back because Superman beat him. Yeah. So you'd have to make him more powerful, which that's why they probably made him Doomsday. But obviously then you couldn't do the Death of Superman, which I wasn't a fan of anyway. They could have brought him back and gave him more powers and had him fight, because I think Michael Shannon was the best part of Man of Steel.
He was awesome.
Yeah. And I want to see... I'm not okay with not seeing any more of him ever again.
Yeah, it is kind of disappointing that,
especially when you see his body in the trailer. You're like, they got Michael Shannon back at least to do a small cameo.
What do you think about... Obviously, I felt that Lex Luthor, since he had all this knowledge of the galaxy, that he was hinting at Darkseid.
That's what I thought. I think Darkseid's probably going to be.
Yeah. Which is amazing.
If they don't follow the Injustice storyline well, I think even Darkseid could come, and then Lois could die, and Superman could blame.
But they're not going to kill anybody.
I think they could. They could kill Lois. I mean, they killed her in Injustice, but that's like a...
Yeah, she didn't have a whole lot to do in this movie anyway.
Parallel universe, right? And
so I guess it wouldn't be like, it wouldn't cripple them, because they're just using her anyway. Any chance they can to be like, okay, let's insert her so she stays relevant. So when you're fighting that hard to try to keep a character in a movie like that, I guess it would be a blessing to just be like, let's kill her off, and now we don't have to fight this battle anymore.
I think it's very possible that she's going to die in the next one, and it's going to cause Superman to go insane.
Just lose it.
Because he's already like questioning his faith in humanity and like, what am I doing? Why am I helping these people? And then he does, obviously, at the end of this movie. But I think that, if they push him to his limits, he could just be like, you know what? Fuck y'all. If you don't listen to me, I'm going to come for you. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. And then Wonder Woman's going to totally be all up on that and be
all
like,
up that ass.
Totally agree.
Stone Cold Clark.
One of the things I wanted to bring up was, where was Doug from House of Cards? Do you remember in Man of Steel? The actor that plays Doug Stamper in House of Cards?
I never watched House of Cards.
Okay. Well, Doug Stamper from House of Cards, I don't know the actor's name, but he had a part in Man of Steel. He worked for the Daily Planet. They went through the trouble of bringing back the girl that almost dies, that works at the Daily Planet. She had several scenes. She was in the background of several scenes. And yet they don't bring back him. I'm wondering if it was a scheduling conflict or something with filming, say, the fourth season of House of Cards or not. But I missed him. He's kind of a douchebag in it, but, I was just wondering.
They had enough characters to shoot one.
That's true. That's true. I didn't think about that.
Where's Doug?
Yeah, really.
I am walking out of this movie. This is unacceptable.
This is a Douglas movie for me.
What do you think in general of when they bring in real people or real news anchors to a movie? Like they brought in Anderson Cooper.
Oh, I love that. Honestly,
you love that.
I do love that. Yeah.
I do too. I feel like it brings you into the universe, and you feel like it is real. They did the same thing in Skyfall. They brought in Wolf Blitzer from CNN. And
did he ask follow-up questions though?
He never does.
It's all about the follow-up. Build that wall. No questions.
What I find funny is like I don't really read Superman, but I've seen some cartoons, and when he is Clark Kent, he's he's dropping stuff, and
he plays an idiot,
stuttering. In this one, he's still like
dapper as
fuck. What if we don't talk about the Batman? It's like he is just Superman. He just has glasses on.
Yeah.
When he was Clark Kent and other stuff, he was a totally different character. But in this one, it's like he's literally the same guy. He just has glasses on.
When did Lex Luthor figure out that Clark and Superman were the same person? Because it just showed up like out of nowhere. Like
I feel like he knew before.
I think he had figured it out.
But
here's also my point. This was my biggest point. I get it. Lex Luthor's son is a fucking nutcase. I get it. He's a total psychopath. Yada yada yada. But if he really hated Superman,
he's like Trump's kid.
If he just didn't trust, right?
What?
Right. Yeah. If he just didn't trust Superman, let's say that's his motive for wanting to kill him. If he just didn't trust Superman, why didn't he just be like, "How about this, Superman? You fly away from this planet forever and ever, or I'm going to kill your mom, or I'm going to tell everybody that who your family is."
I think he wants to turn him though.
What do you mean?
Like, I think he wants to possibly be able to use him down the road.
I thought he was trying to kill him.
He's trying to kill him,
but I'm trying to get Batman to kill him because he figured Batman.
But I don't
was
think
the
he
only
just
one
wants him to disappear. I think either he wants to die or he wants to control him or end him. But he wants to be responsible for that. Having him fly away just doesn't seem. He could always come back, and it's not as final or for Lex Luthor.
They should have been a little bit more clear on the fact that he was like.
Oh, they should have been more clear about a lot of things. But, so they talk about Krypton tearing apart his cells. Okay, so it's like high-level radiation for him. So is that cancer to Superman? Like, is he getting cancer anytime he's exposed to it?
I don't.
Or is he like is he regenerative?
He is regenerative.
Yeah, because he was in that fight. He was getting stronger as he got further away from that gas. And
I still feel like he's gonna get like super cancer.
Well, I always understood it that kryptonite made him mortal. It made him human. So it dissolved his cells to the point of like
they're just human
he's
level.
Just a person. He's just
so
he can die then.
They were showing that was actually
right.
Was destructive to his cells.
But once he gets away from it, his cells come back. Okay. Like they regenerate. Because I did read one Superman comic once where they were like, as soon as we cut his hair grows back or something. They're mixing that up with Wolverine. I don't know.
So how does he come back at the end if there's no sunlight hitting him?
This is in the comics, which they're probably just going to write it in, that when a Kryptonian gets beaten to death, although you can straight up kill a Kryptonian on the planet, when a Kryptonian, at least on Earth, gets weakened, he'll go into a coma. And then that's how in the comic Superman went into a coma, and then it took like 6 months for his body to regenerate, and then all of a sudden he emerged as Superman again.
So he goes into like an Odin sleep.
Yeah. However, in this version, he straight up gets stabbed through his heart, which pumps the blood through his body.
Who knows, man? Who knows? Yeah. He's Kryptonian. Maybe their hearts are.
Blood?
Maybe their hearts are in their heads or something. I don't know.
I like how at the end of the movie, Lex Luthor, when he's in prison, and you see they're like, turn around, put your hand on the wall. You can tell like the idea of not. All right.
Yeah.
The idea of like
my back is messed up. So
the idea of like not being in power.
Yeah.
You could just see it on his face that was driving him crazy. That somebody else was calling the shots for him. And I think that, like I said, I didn't really. What the fuck, bro? I didn't really like how Jesse Eisenberg played it.
Yeah.
But I think he did a great job at doing what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
It was convincing. I just didn't really like rub me like that.
Yeah, it was very reminiscent of a freaking Dark Knight, where they turn off the lights and then magically Batman's there.
Yeah, and you notice he didn't hurt him. So
Yes.
Nice.
I told you I don't play this game.
Yeah, they didn't hurt him, so it was kind of like he was changing.
Yeah.
He was like trying to be better to prove Superman or something.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna brand him, and I was like, I don't know how they're gonna explain this.
That would have been awesome, actually.
I agree. I think he should have branded him because they were like, branding is a death sentence.
But he has to have a character. Like, Batman would have been exactly the same as he was at the beginning. He was he was going crazy and like brutal.
So now he's gonna be more like.
He was extra brutal in this movie.
Now he's gonna be like.
He's gonna tone it down a little bit.
He's gonna be like Christian Bale in this.
The thing about so forever ago, I wanted to make this web series about Batman, but it was gonna be like from the point of view that he wasn't rich. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So it's Rorschach.
Yeah, pretty much. But he was still gonna be young, and it was gonna be like him just starting out. And fuck me.
Did you just scratch it?
Yeah.
What happened to the blue chalk?
It's on the wall somewhere. Oh, it's over there.
But like I always noticed
Because that's gonna make it rain.
I always notice that when Batman beats people up, it's always like they seem fine. You know how much it hurts getting punched in the face?
Or knocked out.
Brain
damage.
That shit hurts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've only been punched in the face like twice, and I'm like, I don't need to do that ever again. You know? And it just seems like they're always fine. Like they're just like, no, I would have gotten away with it, Batman. You know, and it's like, dude, he like broke your fucking nose. Your fucking cheek is shattered. What do you like? How are you so
crying,
cool?
dude?
Yeah, I would be crying right now. You seem awfully cool with it.
Not to mention being terrified.
Oh, I thought I was gonna scratch against it. Oh wait! Fuck. That's gonna be my goal from now on. Just scratch
But make it look like you weren't trying to.
Right.
It should just be awful.
But yeah, this movie did a good job of making it look like, oh shit, that hurt. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he definitely paralyzed some people.
he tied that dude to the radiator. Like, it looked like he really like went to town on that guy. You know? Although when he crawled across the ceiling, I was like, what is that?
Oh yeah, and the guy shooting him with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's getting sloppy there. But
It's like-
and it's not bulletproof. It's not like his heavier.
He got shot.
He
in
got
the back
shot point blank.
in the back of the head.
That's his armored one.
No.
No, it was all the same.
So yeah, that is bulletproof.
His
Yeah.
bulletproof.
That's why he didn't care.
His bulletproof rubber that can not only take the a bullet can't pierce through it, but also take the blunt force drama of a point blank bullet.
And then get stabbed.
He did get stabbed.
Oh, in the shoulder, and he walked. He was like, and
So
like,
He stabbed that guy too! He
just-
straight up stabbed that guy!
he just took it out. And,
That was so fucked up! It's like, who is
I'm okay.
this?
I'm okay with that.
I mean, like, it's cool, because, like, obviously, like, I'm a Punisher fan. But I was like, dude, he would just not do that shit, though.
what if Batman actually, since he's a billionaire, he can like cure himself? But if Batman actually had AIDS, and like he just gave that guy,
You just gave that guy hepatitis C. That's what it was.
He's playing the long con there.
Yeah. That wasn't that bad. Oh, you'll see.
fool me once.
It's only a matter of time.
Can't get HIV again.
That's what Batman's thing is all about. It's just transmitting
Just slowly giving
diseases. Yeah.